Chosen one, this is not just another message, it's a divine warning. Ignoring what's coming on July 17th, 18th and 19th could shift everything for you. These aren't ordinary dates, they are sacred timestamps, prophetic alignments woven into time itself for those who are truly awake, aligned and listening. If your soul has been restless, if your dreams feel louder, stranger, more urgent, if your inner world feels like it's ticking toward something unseen, that's no coincidence. You're already feeling the spiritual gravity of what's ahead. These 3 days carry weight. They are tests wrapped in time, meant to reveal your awareness, your obedience and your courage. What you choose to do with them will echo far beyond them. Don't ignore the call. Determine whether you walk through the gates of destiny or miss a once-in-a-lifetime invitation. This is not a warning rooted in fear, but one of holy preparation. The cost of missing what heaven is announcing could be everything your soul has been laboring for. Stay with me until the very end of this message, because somewhere in this message is a signal specifically meant for you. Your moment of alignment depends on full awareness, your confirmation, your acceleration, your confirmation of divine timing. It's all waiting. And write your warmest wishes and the number 99 in the comments below. Let us collectively energize the atmosphere with the vibration of fulfilled desires, the frequency of faith, and the expectancy that moves mountains. Chosen one. Ignoring this prophetic date will cost you everything. Watch July 17th, 18th, and 19th. These are the days the heavens will move and the earth will answer. Now, chosen one, like this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. The spiritual realm is not silent in this season. In fact, it has been loudly announcing a pivot, a shift, a rerouting of destinies that has already begun. But here is what's hidden in plain sight. Many people are walking blindly into these days as if they are ordinary. You are not one of them. You were selected to receive advanced notice because you are spiritually awake. There is a whisper from eternity saying, prepare. These dates carry codes, codes of consequence and codes of reward. They are the junction point where decisions create legacy or regret. You may think you have time, but time is no longer patient. Time is now prophetic. Time is now strategic. Time is now working either with you or against you. You must choose one. You have likely been sensing a strange tension. Things feel like they are both accelerating and slowing down, like something major is coming, but you can't explain why. That's not your imagination. That is prophecy, pressing against the veil of time. It is the sacred trying to get your attention. You were born into this exact window of time with a mission that connects to what these 3 days will unlock. They are not isolated, they are connected. July 17th is the opening, July 18th is the transition, and July 19th is the sealing. If you don't move when the door opens, if you hesitate during the transition, if you are unaware when the sealing comes, you risk forfeiting a divine assignment that was tailored for your hands only. This is why ignoring this prophetic date would cost everything, because everything is what's on the line. These are days of visibility. What was once hidden will now be revealed. The ones who have been in the wilderness, in preparation, in silence. Your names are now on heaven's scrolls for announcement. But here's the divine twist. Only those who obey will be seen. You cannot fake your way into the light of this season. July 17th to 19th will expose imposters and activate originals. This is a turning point, and in the spirit, a spotlight is moving. If you are in position, it will land on you. If you are distracted, it will pass over you. That's how crucial your focus is in this moment. This is not about waiting. This is about responding. Responding to the spiritual instruction you have already received, but may have delayed. No more delay, chosen one. The dates are too loaded to play with time. Think of everything you've survived to get here. The battles, the betrayals, the breakdowns. It was all a corridor that led you to this threshold, and now you stand before a divine door. But the door is motion activated, meaning it opens when you move. If you remain still in fear, it remains closed. If you move in faith, it opens into overflow. The next 72 hours from July 17th to 19th are not just about you being alert. They're about you being bold, bold enough to say yes, even if you don't know all the details, bold enough to leave behind comfort, delay, excuses, and the approval of others, bold enough to believe that if heaven marked these days, then they are heavy with answers you've prayed for in secret. You must now walk like it's already done. Your spirit knows something is different about these days. That is not anxiety, it's anticipation. You are sensing the movement of heaven. The angelic activity is at an all-time high. Why? Because instructions are being delivered, protection is being dispatched, wealth is being reassigned, authority is being placed in the hands of those who are aligned. Not popular, not loud, not impressive, but aligned, and alignment requires humility, stillness, and trust. If you feel a divine pull, do not resist it. If you feel a nudge to pause and listen, listen. If your heart is being stirred to separate from something before these dates, do it. Everything is tied to your posture in these moments. These are not dates to scroll through. These are dates to consecrate. Even now in the unseen, there are meetings being held about your name. There are decisions being made in the spirit that will trickle down into your physical reality. Some of you are about to experience rapid upgrades, divine connections, unexpected messages, and supernatural clarity. But again, it hinges on whether or not you honor the wait of July 17th to 19th. These days were prophesied before you were born. They are not reacting to the calendar. The calendar is reacting to them. In heaven's timeline, they are glowing with divine energy. And for the chosen one who watches, listens, prays, and moves, they will feel like 3 days that changed everything. You've been prepared for this, and if it feels like too much, it's because it's more than you imagined. You are not being called into something ordinary. You're being summoned into legacy, and legacy is never built in comfort. Legacy is born in moments of courage. You are standing at the edge of such a moment. Do not look away. Do not silence the urge to rise. Do not listen to those who say nothing's going to happen. Something has already begun. The shift is not coming. It has started. July 17th to 19th are simply the days that will reveal what has been hidden. There are people who will ignore this. People who will laugh, mock, delay, sleep. Let them. But you are different. You've always been different. That difference is your gift, not your curse. It is that difference that allowed you to hear messages others miss, to discern what others dismiss, to feel what others cannot explain. That sensitivity is not a burden, it's a superpower in this season, and you must wield it with wisdom. You must protect your energy, honor your intuition, and stay close to the voice that called you, because it will guide you through the spiritual territory of July 17th, 18th, and 19th, like a lamp in darkness. This moment is not for the crowd, it's for the called. And if you're still reading this, it means you are one of them. You are meant to receive this alert, this notice, this sacred reminder. It's not about fear, it's about being ready. There is no time to waste when destiny is knocking. There is no room for confusion when clarity has already been given. This is your time to rise, not retreat, to focus, not falter. You were born for moments like this, chosen one. That inner tension you felt lately, the pressure, the weight, the sense that something is about to erupt, isn't random. It's the signal that something sacred is nearing you, something encoded with your name, something irreversible if missed. These 3 days, July 17th, 18th, and 19th, are not an accident. They are divine appointments that were written into the blueprint of time. Every storm you've endured was leading you to this alignment. Every delay, every disappointment, every silent season was a setup for your spiritual positioning, but timing without awareness is waste, and God doesn't waste power. That's why He's sending this message to you now, because He doesn't want you out of position when the doors open. The realm of the Spirit is intensely active right now. Things are moving quickly, much quicker than most realize, and the magnitude of change coming between July 17th and 19th will not make sense to the natural mind. You must prepare spiritually, emotionally, and mentally for unexpected changes. You may be called to make a quick decision. You may be prompted to end something or begin something without all the details. You may receive an instruction that doesn't fit your logic but resonates deep in your soul. Do not dismiss it. These 3 days are about realignment with heaven's blueprint for your life, and heaven will not explain itself to your comfort. Heaven will call, and your only requirement is to respond. For many chosen ones, these dates mark a spiritual threshold, a crossing over. You're not just entering a new week, you're stepping into a new dimension of purpose, and with that new dimension comes divine responsibility. Some of you will suddenly be called into leadership, into visibility, into rooms you didn't plan to walk into. You'll be stretched, not punished, elevated, not overwhelmed, promoted by divine design, not human approval. That's why your obedience matters more than ever right now. Your yes to God will unlock access no man can give you, and your silence when He speaks could forfeit what you've spent years praying for. This is that serious. These dates are not for waiting, they are for acting. There will be whispers trying to keep you still, fear dressed as logic, doubt wrapped in reason, old voices saying you're not ready. But I'm here to remind you, you are ready. You've been made ready by the fire you walked through, the betrayals you survived, the late-night tears you cried when no one knew what you were carrying. Those weren't setbacks, they were initiations. You're not stepping into July 17th, 18th and 19th as a beginner. You're stepping in as a warrior, a vessel, a solution, and solutions are always needed in moments of divine chaos. Heaven doesn't wait for the comfortable, heaven calls the prepared. And chosen one, you've been prepared in the dark for what will be revealed in the light. Understand this. These prophetic days are thresholds, and thresholds are holy. You don't treat them casually. You treat them with reverence. You fast, you pray, you listen, you align. You don't let distractions pull you away. Not this time. You don't explain your consecration to others who don't understand it. These 3 days are about you and God. Period. This is about destiny. This is about legacy. This is about future generations you'll never meet, but who will be blessed because you made the right choice when it counted. The ripple effects of your alignment during these dates will echo for decades. That's the power of this moment. On July 17th, the opening begins. It's a day of unveiling. You may suddenly feel spiritual pressure, or intense clarity, or even divine discomfort. Do not panic. That is the gate beginning to open. Heaven is recalibrating your timeline. And on July 18th, the shift intensifies. That is the day when your past, present and future collide. It's a corridor of spiritual decisions where your words, thoughts and steps must all agree with your assignment. Speak what you want to see. Think in alignment with where you're going, not where you've been. Move as if it's already yours. This day is not about watching others. It's about walking through what you were born for. Then comes July 19th, the day where heaven confirms what has been decided. On this day, you must be still. You must be aware. You must hold the line. You'll likely sense a wave of stillness in your spirit, or a holy finality, like something is closing behind you and something else is opening in front of you. Do not fight it. Do not mourn what cannot go with you. Everything that exits your life around these dates is doing so because it would pollute the promise. These days will not only bring you what's yours, but they will remove what blocks you. Be prepared for the pruning as much as the pouring. This is the divine pattern. The enemy knows the weight of these days. That's why you may feel increased spiritual warfare, sudden confusion, random discouragement, or strange resistance. That's confirmation. You wouldn't be under attack if what's coming wasn't heavy with glory. That's why now more than ever, you must guard your mind. Do not entertain negativity. Do not allow your emotions to drive your decisions. Do not give voice to doubt. Speak life over these days. Speak clarity. Speak favor. Speak victory. You're not begging anymore. You're declaring. You're not guessing anymore. You're walking by divine intelligence. And that divine intelligence is now activating within you right now. Everything you need to walk into these days with strength has already been placed in you. The strategy, the sensitivity, the strength, it's in your spirit. It's waking up. That restlessness you've been feeling, that's purpose, trying to push through your flesh. That urgency you felt, that's God breathing on your assignment. He is saying, you are not late, you are not behind, you are right on time, because now is the time. But time won't wait, destiny won't beg. The train is moving, and you must decide if you're boarding or staying behind. There will be no more rehearsals after these dates, no more testing ground, no more someday. July 17th to 19th is where the chosen are distinguished from the distracted, where the aligned are promoted and the asleep are passed over. And I don't say this to scare you. I say it to empower you, because you are not meant to be passed over. You are meant to be activated, elevated, revealed. That's why this message found you. Because you are the one who will break the cycle, the one who will answer the call, the one who will walk through the door no one else even saw. And what's waiting on the other side is not small. It's not temporary. It's not man-made. It's prophetic. It's explosive. It's the kind of reward that not only changes your life, but redeems the generations before you. It corrects everything the enemy thought he ruined. It silences the lies that were spoken over you. It justifies every season you felt forsaken. It is heaven's way of saying, I never forgot you. The countdown has already begun. Heaven is watching. The angels are moving. The coordinates are locked. And you, chosen one, are the vessel they're watching. The time is now. You must answer. You must move. You must listen. You must act, because ignoring this prophetic date will cost you everything, and responding to it will unlock more than you ever dared to pray for. The most powerful thing about prophetic moments is that they arrive wrapped in stillness. They don't always shout. Sometimes they come gently, subtly, almost like a whisper in your chest that says, pay attention. These upcoming days, July 17th, 18th, and 19th, are exactly that. They are not just thunderous announcements from heaven. They are sacred nudges, divine alignments, spiritual reminders that something far bigger than you is happening through you. And the reason it's so important for you to be spiritually awake is because the greatest dangers during prophetic dates don't come from external enemies. They come from internal distractions. Many chosen ones don't miss their moment because they weren't called. They miss it because they were too distracted to notice the call. And in these 3 days, distractions will be subtle but strong. They may come in the form of emotional turbulence, unnecessary arguments, mental fog, or the resurfacing of people or situations you've outgrown. These distractions are not random. They are spiritual weapons sent to dull your awareness. Because if the enemy can't stop the prophetic day from arriving, he'll do everything he can to stop you from stepping into it. Your focus must be fierce. Your boundaries must be immovable. Your discernment must be sharp. Chosen one, this is a time to guard your environment with holy intensity. Not everyone should have access to you in this hour. Not every invitation deserves a yes. Not every message deserves a response. These 3 days are like the burning bush moment for Moses. Sacred ground. You don't walk into them the same way you walk into ordinary time. You enter reverently. You pray intentionally. You fast if you feel led. You separate yourself for divine clarity. These days have been carved out of time like holy portals, and your spirit must be prepared to receive what others will miss, simply because they were too noisy to notice. There are people who will try to pull you into the ordinary, into gossip, into fear, into analysis, into worldly timing. Don't go. Not this time. You've come too far. You've been through too much. You've waited too long for something this specific to be mishandled by the casual. This is your turning point. The moment your prayers stop echoing and start manifesting. The season when what was spoken over your life begins to reveal itself in front of your life. But it won't look like fireworks. It'll feel like alignment, like peace, like a decision you finally make that shifts everything forward. That's how God moves in the lives of those he has called. July 17th is the beginning of the unfolding. You will notice divine interruptions, something changing your plan or prompting you to pause. Do not resist it. Let it happen. If you're being delayed, it may be divine protection. If you're being pulled away from something, it may be God preserving your destiny. Remember, these days are coded, and every small movement matters. What may seem small in the natural is monumental in the spirit. A 5-minute delay could be God placing you in the exact moment you need to be to meet the right person, or avoid the wrong situation. That's the kind of orchestration happening behind the veil on July 18th. Things may feel intense emotionally, spiritually, mentally. It may feel like something is pressing you. That pressure is not punishment. It is preparation. It is heaven adjusting you internally for what is about to be downloaded. Many will experience revelations in their dreams, breakthroughs in their journaling, or sudden moments of divine awareness where everything just makes sense. Do not rush through this day. Give yourself space. Sit in silence
silence. Ask God to speak and then actually listen. This is the day of divine instruction, and the instructions you receive will guide your next season of life, not just the next few days. Then comes July 19th, and this is where the weight settles. The Holy Spirit will begin sealing what has been confirmed. You'll sense a deep shift. Some of you will feel lighter because the weight of delay has been lifted. Others will feel bolder because the fear that held you back has been broken. There will be a divine courage placed in you that says, I can no longer go backwards. I am not who I used to be. I'm walking in it now. That's the sealing power. It finalizes your transition. You're not guessing anymore. You're walking in the clarity of what was once a mystery. This is why ignoring this prophetic date will cost you everything, because everything has been divinely placed into these 3 days. The decision to listen or ignore will define the trajectory of the rest of your year and possibly your life. These are not just spiritual dates. They are decision dates. Dates where your agreement with heaven will open gates or allow them to remain closed. Gates of opportunity, gates of visibility, gates of financial favor, gates of restoration, and even gates of healing from things you never thought you'd be free from. God has embedded miracles into time, and these are the moments when those miracles break through into the now. Let your spirit remain expectant. Expectant, not anxious. Expectant, not entitled. Expectant, not demanding. Just available, ready, positioned. When God shows up with something unexpected, don't argue with the form it comes in. Receive it with humility. Say yes, even when you don't have all the details. Some of you will be given divine instructions that contradict your current routine. Obey anyway. You're not being asked to understand. You're being asked to trust, and trust is the currency of the chosen ones in this season. Chosen one, your story has been building toward this. You didn't randomly find this message. You didn't accidentally survive what others were crushed by. You didn't quietly endure that silent season for nothing. You were being equipped, trained, refined, and now you're being positioned. Do you see it? Everything in your past was a setup for this entrance. You're not just stepping into a date, you're stepping into destiny. But you must be ready. You must be awake. You must be obedient. Your mind may try to rationalize all this, but your spirit already knows. That's why you've been feeling it. That's why you're still reading this. That's why your heart beats differently when you think about the weight of what's coming. Because something is indeed coming, and it's not small, it's not vague, it's not symbolic, it's real, it's spiritual and tangible, it's in motion, and it has your name on it. The ones who ignore this date will wake up after it has passed, wondering why they still feel stuck. They will not know that a portal had opened, but they didn't walk through it. Don't be one of them. Be the one who moves with the whisper, who listens when no one else hears, who obeys even when it doesn't make sense, because that's the one God trusts with impact, with influence, with inheritance. And He's looking now. He's watching to see who values what He values, who notices what He's marked, who will move with heaven while others move with the world. This is your signal, your confirmation, your instruction. You've asked God for clarity. And this is it. July 17th, 18th, and 19th. Write them down. Mark them in your spirit. Clear your schedule if you can. Protect those days. Approach them with reverence, because they are loaded with life-changing potential, and missing them isn't just a delay. It's a derailment. It's the kind of spiritual cost that takes years to recover from. And you weren't built to miss this. You were chosen to answer it. You are not here by chance. And this message is not by accident. It's divine appointment. It's a prophetic tap on the shoulder saying, wake up, get ready, it's time. These days are coming fast, and heaven is moving even faster. Let your spirit keep up. Let your obedience rise. Let your heart be still and listen. Everything is shifting now. Everything is aligning now. Everything you've been carrying will finally make sense if you step through what's opening in these 3 holy days. Chosen one, the momentum of these days is unlike anything your spirit has encountered before. It is not hype. It is not emotion. It is divine momentum, the kind that breaks open realms that were sealed, the kind that pulls down answers that were stuck in delay, the kind that stirs angels into movement because heaven knows that this is your moment to cross over. But the danger in divine momentum is this: if you don't move with it, it moves without you. That's why this message is more than encouragement. It is a sacred instruction. One missed step in a season this charged could cost years, but one obedient move can redeem decades. These days, July 17th, 18th, and 19th, have already been highlighted in the spirit. You are not waiting for something to happen. It has already begun. You are being invited into alignment, not just anticipation. Alignment requires more than than belief. It requires movement, internal movement, spiritual movement, physical movement, if necessary. If you are asked to let go of something, don't delay. If you are asked to be still, don't resist it. If you are asked to speak, speak with clarity. Every action you take during these days will carry a level of weight and consequence that is not ordinary. That's why it's not enough to just hear this message. You must live it. Many people will treat these days like every other day. They'll go to work, scroll on their phones, laugh at meaningless jokes, drown themselves in distractions. But something in you knows you can't. Something in you feels different. That something is your spirit remembering the promise you made before time began, the agreement your soul had with God before you even entered this realm, the promise to show up at this hour, to listen, to obey, to take your place in this timeline, and heaven is now waiting to see if you will honor that promise. This is why you felt restless, why your sleep has been interrupted, why your dreams have shifted, why your normal routine no longer satisfies you. It's not burnout, it's awakening. It's your spirit saying, you can't stay where you were made for more, and that more isn't just a vague future, it's arriving on these 3 sacred days. For those who are spiritually attuned, July 17th to 19th will feel like spiritual thunder. Things will shake, foundations will shift, visions will clarify, and for some, divine acceleration will begin without warning. Where you've waited for years, now things will happen in days. That's how potent the window is.
But listen closely. Windows don't stay open forever. Doors close, seasons shift, and the opportunity of these 3 days will pass. The blessing is not automatic, it's conditional. It requires awareness, faith, and obedience. You must be spiritually postured to receive. You must protect your peace like a warrior. You must be intentional with your time, your thoughts, your prayers. This is not the moment for spiritual laziness. This is not the moment for indecision. This is the moment where you either step into legacy or remain trapped in loops. July 17th is a prophetic yes. If you listen closely on that day, you'll hear the sound of approval, the confirmation of heaven saying, now is the time. It may come through a conversation, a divine nudge, a sudden shift in your atmosphere. Don't second guess it. Move. The faster your obedience, the greater the momentum you'll carry into what's next. July 18th is the proving ground. Your obedience will be tested, not through ease, but through discomfort. You may be asked to confront what you've avoided, to step into what you've feared, to act when you'd rather wait. Don't retreat. This is the moment your spiritual DNA awakens. Then comes July 19th, the day of crystallization. The fog will lift, the delay will break, the vision will sharpen. This is your confirmation, your divine yes, and if you're faithful across these sacred days, you'll enter a flow that logic can't explain. Doors will open that you never knocked on. Strangers will favor you without reason. Opportunities will chase you down. Acceleration will shock you, not because you earned it, but because you obeyed. Obedience is the seed, favor is the harvest, and chosen one, your obedience in this window will unlock a harvest that's been maturing for years. What looked buried will bloom, what felt silent will sing, what seemed over will rise again. You may feel isolated during this process. That's not rejection, it's preparation. God separates before he elevates, because noise drowns direction, and when too many voices speak, you forget the sound of his. So if you're being drawn into the quiet, honor it, lean into the silence. That's where the next blueprint is waiting. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your obedience. Your job is to follow the fire, to move with the signals, to walk the path lit only for you. Don't forget what you carry. You are not small. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You are right on time. And this